hear my laptop fan just going absolutely berserk throughout the entirety of this video, I'm so sorry, but my laptop is like 9 years old, so she's doing her best. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video, or a type of video, that I've always wanted to do, but I just haven't really found something that I wanted to do it for. However, I finally have, and it's finally time that I make a tier ranking video. So I saw Kat from Katerina Bambina do this video. It was a while ago, but I've had it like saved because I knew I wanted to attempt to do it as well because it's a really cool idea. And she tier ranked all of her 5-star reads. And as somebody who gives out 5-star ratings like candy, I thought we could like go through these and really think about it. We can discuss, did it deserve 5 stars? Does it deserve 6 stars? Does it deserve like 4 stars? You know, that kind of thing, because I know some of these I do not still agree with the rating on, so I thought it could be fun to go through them and tier rank them. So that is what we're gonna do. It's basically the premise of the video. And we're gonna get into it. I'm very excited about this, so I hope you guys are as well. Okay, so here is the tier ranking system that I'm going to be using. We're gonna go through it quickly, and then we're gonna get into the 71 books that I have to talk about. I think I've only read like 300 books total, so that's almost a third. It's like a fourth, actually. It's like a fourth of the books that I read I give a 5-star, which I feel like maybe too many, but it's fine. We're gonna look through these. So at the very top we have 6 stars. These are the best of the best, like my absolute favorites. I'm sure you could probably just like list them off right now if you watch this channel at all because I talk about them a lot, but 6 stars, best of the best. 5 stars, they are books that I would still give 5 stars to, but they're not like my absolute favorite books of all time, but I do think they still deserve 5 stars. Then in like the middle tier we have For What It Is, 5 stars. So these are for things like graphic novels, manga, shorter works, basically things that I can't fully compare to like a full-length novel, but they still deserve a 5 stars. You know. Then we have Need to Reread, which that's gonna be a lot of the books that I gave 5 stars in like 2020 because I don't know if I can stand by my ratings from that time because I don't remember anything about those books, so I have a feeling there will be a lot of those. And then finally we have A Questionable Choice. These are basically for books that I do not think deserve 5 stars anymore, and I would give them like a 4, maybe a 3. We'll discuss it. We'll get into it. So we are just going to get into it. So the first book I have here is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I think I would still give this book a 5 stars. I definitely remember enough about Pet Sematary to know that I still enjoy it. I still really like all of the themes that it explores, and it's absolutely one of my favorite Stephen King books, so 5 stars, not a 6 star. Next up we have The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. The thing with these books is I loved them when I was younger. I think I read like the first few when I was in like 3rd grade maybe. So for nostalgia purposes, I definitely gave them all 5 stars, and they're definitely really fun. I just don't know if I don't think I would give them 5 stars. Like if I were freshly reading them right now, probably not. So I think I'm gonna put this in For What It Is 5 stars for 10-year-old me, but yeah. Next up we have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Absolutely, this one goes in 6 stars. I love Strange the Dreamer so much. And I need to do a reread of it, honestly, soon, because I had such a good time reading that book. Then we have Vicious by Victoria Schwab. I think I'm also gonna give this one 6 stars. I loved Vicious so much. It was my very first Victoria Schwab, so I have very good memories attached with it. It's also the first book I annotated, which is a random fact for you, but that also makes it really fun. And I also need to give this book a reread. Like, I remember what happens in it, so like I don't need to reread it to like reevaluate. I just need to reread it because I love that book. Then we have Act Your Age, Eve Brown, and I'm gonna put this one in a 5 stars. I don't think, well actually there will be one romance book in 6 stars, but for the most part I think any romance book on this list is gonna go in 5 stars because it takes a lot for me to give a romance book 5 stars because they're not my favorite thing. However, I think this was the first one that I ever gave 5 stars. I love this book so much. I also love the other 2 books in the Brown Sisters companion series by Talia Hibbert. They are so, like, they're amazing romance books. Like, you need to read them. But this was my favorite one out of those, so it's the only one I gave a 5 stars. But that's mainly just because I really related to Eve. I think she's a little bit closer in age to me, so it made it easier to relate to her. And it was so fun. Then we have The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. This one's also gonna go in 5 stars because obviously I really enjoyed this book. I know a lot of people do not enjoy this book, but like I thought it was a good time. Also, I was looking back through my copy, I think a few days ago, and I remembered that I tabbed all of like the Twilight references that were in that book, and there were like 4 of them, which like is a lot for a single book, and I just think that's so funny. That has nothing to do with like what I'm giving this book on this list, but I wanted to mention it. Alright, next up we have Spy Family Volume 2, if I knew where Volume 1 was. Yes, I'll do Volume 1 first. I think all of these, I'm gonna give them 5 stars. I think all of them deserve 5 stars. I just love Spy Family so much. Definitely, it's like my favorite manga series at the time that I'm filming this, and I need to read more ASAP. I don't know why I haven't, but it's not quite for what it is 5 stars, but also it's not 6 stars, so love her. Then we have the X-Hex by Aaron Sterling, absolutely going into my 6-star reads. I love the X-Hex so much. It's basically like a contemporary romance book, but it has witches and like magic, and I know that like that addition of like a fantasy element is why I love this book so much, but I just always have the best time reading it. I've read it twice now, and I loved reading it both times. Next up we have Ignite Me by Tahereh Mafi. This one is going in 5 stars for sure. I still really loved this book. A few days ago I was also going through the annotations on this book, and every 5 seconds I was like, oh, love them so much. I love Ignite Me. The thing with this book though is like nothing really happens aside from just like, you know, character conflicts and whatnot, and I kind of love it for that. Like the plot, non-existent, but I was into it. Okay, then we have The Last Olympian, which is going in for what it is, 5 stars. Pride and Prejudice, I would probably put it in need to reread. I don't know, like rating classics is hard. Maybe actually, I think I'm gonna put this in for what it is, 5 stars, because it's really hard to compare classics to like modern books that I really love because they are just so different. So I'm gonna put it there. That feels right. I've stopped rating classics because it's hard to rate classics, and like I don't care enough to rate them anymore, you know, but because I originally did give it 5 stars, gotta talk about it. Next up we have Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the 3rd book in the Caraval series, and I think I'm gonna put it in a questionable choice. Not that that's a bad thing, but I think Caraval is a very like 4-star series for me, so I don't really remember why I gave this book 5 stars. I think, well, this happens a lot when you like get to the end of a series and you're just so caught up in the emotions and like the characters, and you're just like everything gets 5 stars. But like realistically, does it deserve 5 stars? I don't know. So that's why it's going in a questionable choice. It definitely wouldn't be any lower than a 4-star though. So next up we have The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I'm gonna put this one in 6 stars. I love this book so much. It's basically a retelling of The Jungle Book, but it's set in a graveyard, and it's so, like, I don't know, something about this book I just loved so much, and I remember my time reading it very vividly, so 6 stars. Okay, next up we have the Mortal Instruments graphic novels. I think I'm gonna put all of these in for what it is, 5 stars. I think I only have 3 of them. Pretty sure I rated the second one, because I think this is just like 1, 3, and 4. I'm pretty sure I rated the second one 4 stars because of a certain plot line that comes into effect in that one, but I really enjoy these. They're really fun. Like, can I compare like these really short graphic novels to these other books? No. So for what it is, 5 stars. Next up we have Chord of Silver Flames. I'm gonna put this one in 6 stars. You already know. We already know that A Chord of Silver Flames is amazing. I love that book so much. To all my Nesta haters out there, I'm so sorry, but I love that book. I love Nesta's character development. I love the relationship. Everything about it I was into. Then we have Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Is it up there with my absolute favorites? Like, I love this book, but I don't know if I would say it's quite up there. So I'm thinking 5 stars. I feel like I need to be more selective with my 6-star read because that is a heavy title to give a book, you know, so I'm gonna keep it selective. Then I also have The Way of Kings. It's also going in my 5 stars. Then we have the Infernal Devices manga. For these, I'm also gonna put them in for what it is, 5 stars. I do really enjoy these. I think they're really fun. It's definitely a very interesting way to consume the Infernal Devices, but I really ended up enjoying them, so for what it is, 5 stars. Then we have Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, which that's the 2nd book in the Monsters of Verity duology, but we also have The Savage Song. I'm gonna put both of these in need to reread because I certainly do not remember enough about either of them to really make a judgment on them, but I do know that I absolutely loved them when I first read them, so I'm kind of like, can't put them in a questionable choice because I don't think that's what they deserve, but they also don't deserve like the full 5 stars yet. You know what I'm saying? So Hopefully at some point in time I will do a reread of those. Next we have Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. I'm putting this one in a questionable choice because, like, I think about when I read it, it was a really fun time. I like the series of novellas that Ali Hazelwood has, but I don't know if this one really deserved 5 stars. I'd probably give it, like, I don't know, a 4-star, maybe. It was just so short, and like all of Ali Hazelwood's books follow the exact same formula. It's just like people in STEM who don't know how to communicate. And I'm like, you know, me too. Upon further evaluation, I don't think it deserves 5 stars. I'm not gonna change my rating of it, but nah. Then we have The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn series. This is also just gonna go in my normal 5-star reads. Loved it a lot, but I don't think it's quite with my 6 stars. Next up we have The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which is the 3rd book in the Folk of the Air series. I'm gonna put this one in a questionable choice because I reread the Folk of the Air August. Sometime late last year, and I didn't change my rating of this like when I read it because I don't want to change my rating of it because that's what I gave it when I first read it. However, The Queen of Nothing just does not compare to the 2nd book in that series, which, where is it? Wicked King? That one goes into 6 stars. I love the 2nd book in that series so much, just everything about it. Just, yeah. But The Queen of Nothing just takes this, like, turn into, like, I don't even know what's happening. And as I was reading this, I could not figure out for the life of me why I gave it a 5 stars to begin with, because it's rather slow, and it's a little, like, just compared to the rest of the series, it's not as good. So if I were rating it now, I feel like I'd give it like a 3.5 or 4. I still really enjoy it, just not at a 5-star level. Then we have Kingdom of the Wicked, which I'm also gonna put in a questionable choice. I think the last book in that series really ruined the Kingdom of the Wicked series for me. I don't know, something about Kingdom of the Feared I just was not vibing with, and it really made me step back and evaluate my enjoyment of that series, and like, it is fun. But it's not, like, I would not give this book a 5 stars now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't know. It's, like, some parts are fun. I like the romance a lot, but I just, like, no. Then we have The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I'm gonna put that one right in 5 stars. Loved that book so much. I'm so excited for what? I can't remember what the 3rd one's called ever. A Curse for True Love. I think that's the one. Yes, I'm very excited for that one. But I loved this book so much. Then I have Heartstopper Volume 2, and I'm going to talk about Heartstopper as a whole because this is one of the graphic novels, the only graphic novel series. This is the only graphic novel series that I will put in my 6-star reads because, duh. Like, need I say more? No. Then we have Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. This is another 6-star read for me, which I always just find it really interesting because I don't love the rest of this series really, but something about this book just really did it for me. And I think about it frequently. I need to do a reread of it. I just had such a good time reading this book. Then we have the Heartstopper Yearbook. This is definitely gonna go in for what it is, 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. It's really fun, but it's not really like a full book, so I don't really know how to rate it, you know? So that seems right. Then we have Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. This is the last book in the Vampire Academy series, and there are a couple others on this list as well. Just the 2? I thought there was another. Okay, well, we have like the 5th and 6th book on this list, and I think these are gonna go in for what it is, 5 stars. Because obviously I love this series. It was so fun. Like, are they great? No. But they still deserve 5 stars in my eyes. Then we have A Court of Mist and Fury, going straight up to the 6 stars. There we go. Love that book so much. I don't need to tell you more about it though. Then we have Bilbo's Last Song, which is like, it's not a book either. It's like a poem of sorts that takes place after The Lord of the Rings. I think it's like 25 pages. It's so short. The illustrations in it are very pretty though. So I'm gonna put it in like for what it is, 5 stars, because like whatever. Then we have Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. I think I'm gonna put this one just like in my normal 5 stars. This is like the only book in the Throne of Glass series that I've given 5 stars, and I have a feeling that it might be the only book in the Throne of Glass series that I will give 5 stars. I'm currently been in the middle of a tandem read of Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms for like 4 months now, and I just feel like any books that take me that long to read probably aren't gonna deserve a 5 star. Maybe I'll like Kingdom of Astolat, I don't know, but I just feel like Throne of Glass is a very 4-star series for me. I like it, but it's not like a favorite or anything. However, I did really like Queen of Shadows. Like, I very much enjoyed all of the POVs in it, the plot, like that book, 5 stars. Rest of them, not so much. Then we have Defy Me by Tahira Mafi. This is one of the books in the Shatter Me series. I don't remember which one. I also cannot for the life of me remember why I gave this book 5 stars. So we're gonna put it into questionable choice just because I can't tell you a single thing that happens in that book specifically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think the second half of the Shatter Me series is questionable overall. Like, it's kind of fun, but I'm also like, was this necessary? No. So, yeah. Then we have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I think I'm gonna put this one just like normally in my 5 stars. I loved this book so much. I thought it was such a fun time. It was a really cute read. Not a 6 star, but still a 5 star. Then we have The Midnight Heir, which is one of the books from the Bane Chronicles. And you're probably like, why is this on its own? But that's because, that is because I do indeed have a little singular copy of it that I found on eBay one day. So I put it on my Goodreads, just like in its own little format because I thought it was cute. But this basically just follows James Herondale. Love James Herondale. Not a 6 star, but a 5 star. Then we have A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. This is the first book in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. I've already gone out and bought books 2 through 4, I think, after only reading the first book. So I'm thinking, like, it's definitely a 5 star. It's like almost a 6 star book, but like, I feel like if the mystery had been a bit more interesting, it would be a 6 star book, but maybe some of the other books in the series will be 6 stars. Next up we have The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I definitely need to put this one in need a reread. I don't remember most of what happens in this book. I know I really like it. I just can't for the life of me remember why, but I don't want to put it in a questionable choice, but definitely need a reread. Then we have The Two Towers by J.r Tolkien. This is the like second book in the Lord of the Rings series. Like technically is one book, whatever. But I don't know why I singled this book out as being the one out of the 3 that deserved a 5 stars, but I definitely need to like put it in need a reread. Same thing goes for The Hobbit. I feel like it's just been so long since I've read these, and I've read so many other fantasy books since then, so I'm like, I kind of know what happens. But not well enough to really make a judgment on them. Then we have The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I'm also going to put this one in a questionable choice. I will be the first one to admit that I got caught up in the hype with this book. I think I read it at the beginning of 2020, I think that was around the time that it either came out or it was just like, a lot of people were talking about it. And I was like, oh my god, The House in the Cerulean Sea is so cute, 5 stars. But, like, it was fun. But I have no feelings towards this book at all whatsoever. Like, it's a good book for sure, but I just like, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 or a 4 if I read it now. Then we have Fangs for Sarah Anderson, and as much as I would like to put this in my 6 star reads, I feel like it's just gonna go in my 5 stars. It's not quite in the level below because I do still really love this, but it's so short. I feel like I can't put it in 6 stars, but it's so, like, that one's so cute. It's a graphic novel about a love story between a vampire and a werewolf. So, like, obviously, yeah. Next up, we have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I'm gonna put this in a questionable choice, don't kill me. I would put it in need to reread because I don't remember anything that happens in this book. I read it like 2 years ago now, and I got nothing. And I would put it in need to reread, but it's 800 pages and I'm not rereading this book, so I think I'd probably give it like a 4 stars. Like, it was good. Love the dragons, love the sapphic relationship, love the female written fantasy, but aside from that, I don't remember anything about it. Then we have Frankenstein by, yes, Mary Shelley. There we go. Where did I put Pride and Prejudice? I'll probably just put that, yes. And for what it is, no, actually, I'm gonna put it in 5 stars. Because Frankenstein is definitely one of my favorite classics. If I were gonna put any classics in, like, my 6 star reads, it would be Dracula, but, like, I didn't rate Dracula, even though I probably should have. Because I love that book, and I feel like if it's my favorite classic, I probably should give it a 5 stars, but I just didn't. I definitely really liked Frankenstein. It was one of the first classics that I was like, oh, that is good. You know what I'm saying? So I love Frankenstein. Not a 6 star read, but 5 stars. Then we have Gleam by Raven Kennedy. I think for this one, I'm going to put it in for what it is, 5 stars, because I love this book. I thought it was so fun. This series as a whole is very fun, but I feel like it's just not quite at the level of, like, normal 5 stars because I had a really good time. The plot, very fun, very fantasy romance, but it's not quite up there with the other ones. Like, at the time, I was like, this is amazing. But now that I've kind of, you know, stepped back, I'm like, yeah, I had a really good time reading it, but it's not quite there. Then I have Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. I think I'm gonna put this one in a questionable choice, not because I didn't like this, but just because, like, it's a children's book. And it was really cute. I think I read it last year, maybe. But I just don't think I don't think I'd give it a 5 stars. If I could, I would just give this book no rating because, like, it was fun, but I don't know how to rate it, to be honest. Then we have Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I really enjoyed this book when I first read it a few years ago. Obviously, I think if I were to go back and read it now, it would be a little bit cringe, but I think I still would. I would enjoy it for, like, nostalgia purposes. This was, like, the first YA fantasy book that I picked up that wasn't, like, you know, Harry Potter or Twilight or, like, those. It was, like, one of the first ones that I read when I was getting into reading, so it does hold a special place in my heart. But it's not a 6 star, it's just gonna go to 5 stars. Then we have the next 6 books, actually. No. Almost all of the next 6 books are going in my 6-star reads. Clockwork Angel, yes. Clockwork Prince, obviously. Actually, I'm gonna put Clockwork Princess in 5 stars because I just love the first 2 so much more, and, like, as a whole, obviously top favorite series, but it's mainly the first 2 that really make that series for me. It also might be because I've only read Clockwork Princess once, and, like, maybe if I could finally get myself to reread it, it would eventually go up to a 6 star, but for now I can only put it in the 5 stars. Then we have Chain of Gold, 6 stars. Chain of Iron, 6 stars. Chain of Thorns, I'm gonna put it 5 stars. I think 5 stars. I liked Chain of Thorns a lot. I thought it was a decent conclusion to the series, but I just don't like it nearly as much as I like the first 2 books in that series, which is disappointing. And, like, I wasn't disappointed in the book, I have feelings about Chain of Thorns, okay? Like, it was really fun when I was reading it, but now that I've kind of taken a step back and I've thought about it, I'm like, you know what, it could have been better. It could have been better. Could have been worse, but it could have been better. But, like, obviously, I still love The Last Hours. I just wish that book would have been better. Next up, we just have more Percy Jackson, which are going in this category. Why am I missing one? And which one am I missing? It's the blue one. I'm pretty sure I gave that book 5 stars. Maybe I didn't. I have no idea. But one of them is gone. Whatever. Then we have Creepy Cat Volume 1. This is a little, I think it's a manga. And I think I'm gonna put this in a questionable choice because I would definitely give this like a 4 stars, but I don't think I would give it a 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's fun. There's a lot of creepy cats in it. But I don't know why I gave it a 5 stars. Then we have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I'm gonna put this one in 5 stars. I love Crooked Kingdom. The Six of Crows duology, like, isn't a top favorite series for me, but I still really enjoy it and it's great. Then we have Salem's Lot by Stephen King, and this one, I think I'm gonna put it in need to reread. Yeah? I think I'm gonna put the rest of these in need to reread. Like The Bridge Kingdom, don't remember anything about it. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, don't remember anything about it, which is very ironic. But, like, all 3 of those, I'm just going to talk about all 3 of them at the same time because I don't remember enough to give you thoughts about them specifically. I don't remember enough about any of these books to, like, fully give it a proper ranking, you know? So we're just going to put in need to reread. I would definitely reread any of these 3 books. Like, I would not have an issue with that. So, there we have it. That's my tier ranking. That is my tier ranking of all of my 5-star reads. What have I learned from this video? I give a lot of books 5 stars. I don't know if I really think I want to be more selective with, like, giving out 5 stars because, you know, if in that moment I thought the book deserved 5 stars, then I do want to, you know, remember that feeling that I had for the book. But I just don't know if all of the books that I give 5 stars fully deserve 5 stars. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal if I give a book 5 stars that maybe I should have given a 4, like, whatever. I just thought it would be interesting to go through all of the books that I've given 5 stars in the recent years and talk about them with you guys. Also, you could theoretically take this as a recommendation video for you guys because obviously these are, like, a bunch of my favorite books. If you did enjoy the video though, please do let me know down below What do you give out a lot of 5-star ratings? What's your protocol with that? I think that would be kind of fun to discuss in the comments. So yes, I'm going to let you guys go now, and I'll see you in my next video.